welcome to Danger Recall. With me, my guest today, I have Dylan.
I thought you were doing Werner Herzog at first, so I was going to also do the Werner Herzog as well. Get me the child.
No, get to the chopper, not the child.
Get me the child.
The chopper, not the child.
The child.
The child and the chopper are both the same thing. They are all expressions of darkness and bears.
I'm Colin Hubbard. I'm going to be your host for this episode. We are talking about episode 19. This is Danger Recall part 17, the old new show, the new old show, the show where we talk about our show. We're talking about shows. Show.
Yeah.
That word's lost all meaning.
With me today, I've got Dan Thompson.
Hello, everybody. Good to be back.
And Ross Harmston.
Hello, everyone.
Nice. How are you both? Good?
Yes.
Feeling good. I've enjoyed this run of episodes very, very much.
It's been nice, isn't it?
Waiting for a Kickstarter to arrive. FedEx are going to be delivering it soon. It's called Tainted Grail.
Tainted
nice.
Grail. Oh.
Tainted Grail.
I just had we're still recording these before Christmas, so away. So we've just found out I've just agreed I can't go to my parents for Christmas. But I've just had, or did yesterday, but I've just had a box arrive from Silent Paul Gin from my dad. So I have a feeling I'm gonna have it's gonna be a good evening. I'm not gonna remember a lot of Christmas, so I'm glad we're recording these now.
Nice. Yeah. Nice. We got an Abel and Cole box of veg through this morning.
Nice.
Yeah, it's huge. We've got like two big stems of broccoli. We've got loads of Brussels sprouts. We got the lot, mate. We're ready.
I've got to go shopping for some bits and pieces. I've got to get some more salmon because my mum always gets not enough salmon for Christmas. So I have to get more salmon. I'm like, I want a pile of salmon that I can have in the morning for breakfast. So
got any salmon?
Yeah. I see.
Nice.
Hey, we're getting callbacks on Danger Recall now. Like we're gonna have to recall.
Recall that call.
You know, get on the chat, get on the Discord. Let us know what you liked about the last few episodes or what you liked about this episode.
And if you didn't like any of us, then don't say that.
Yeah, it was my birthday yesterday. I mean, it wasn't my birthday yesterday, but when this comes out, it was my birthday yesterday.
What did you do, Colin, for your birthday?
Well, I don't know because it's still December. We've already talked about that, Ross.
No, but what do you want to do?
What do I want to do? I want to be able to go out and see some people, some family. That would be amazing. If the restrictions are still in, then I just hope that everyone's safe and well. And
we could play a game. What day is it? Oh, I was going to say we could play a D&D, but it's not. It's not Monday, mate. Sorry.
Yeah, but my Monday would be yesterday, so that would actually be my birthday.
So you could
yes,
have
we can.
Maybe I might write you a birthday game based around your character.
I don't want to play it.
Not, or maybe your character's going to be dead. So who knows?
Hey man, let's not.
I might slide a gun across the table and get Candice to shoot you. So, who knows?
That's how Ross does it.
Yeah.
That's his preferred method.
Happy
the
birthday.
Other characters to do it. Yeah.
All right, we're talking about episode 19, which is called Push the Button. What's this a reference to, Dan?
Push the Button. That is...
a Sugar Babe song?
It is a Sugar Babe song, but it also comes up in... Is it a Daft Punk song or something? There's a reference to that as well.
No, it's the Sugar Babes.
Just Sugar. You love the Sugar Babes.
Dan loves the Sugar Babes.
I do love the Sugar Babes. I'm very happy. The Sugar Babes are a fantastic band.
They are.
This song's actually quite a good pop song, isn't it? Push the Buttons. Sugar Babes, if you don't know who they are kind of a mid-noughties, late 90s to mid-noughties girl band. They had various lineups. They sort of interchanged their lineups. Just a little fact for you: the Sugar Babes have actually got back together. The original lineup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they replaced one of them, didn't they? For a
very
bit.
early on. Yeah, there was a girl that she left I think she didn't really get on with the music company or something like that. So they kind of pushed her out, and she went and did some solo stuff for a bit. And then in the interim years, like they all changed, and there were 3 people in the band that I think weren't even original members. So yeah, but then the original members have just got back together. It's very exciting, Dan, isn't it?
I think I was in the Sugar Babes at one point. Everyone, you have to remember, he who fights Sugar Babes must be careful that he himself does not become a Sugar Babe.
Are they formed from like those pop idols and stuff like that? Are those? No, they were formed before.
They're made from pure sugar. That's what they're the sugar. They went to the Tate and Lyle factory and they made homunculi from sugar, and infused them with the voices of angels, and that is how we got the Sugar Babes. I found out what the reference actually was. It was Chemical Brothers. They've got an album called Push the Button.
Yeah,
that's where it's from.
And a single called Push the Button as well, which has got Q-Tip from A Tribe Called Quest. Yeah, do you want to deep dive on the Sugar Babes or Tribe Called Quest? Because I can do it off the top of my head.
Galvanize? The song is called Galvanize.
That's right, yeah.
Push the Button is the lyric in that.
Very true, yeah, you're right.
Nice.
Great song.
Good song, yeah. Q-Tip's lyrics in that are so good. If you think about it too much, you may stumble trip up on your face. God, I love Q-Tip. Love Q-Tip.
Q-Tip.
I love Q-Tip, man. Like his solo record as well. One of his first solo albums, because he's had 3, I believe. One of which didn't get released for like 10 years, because it got shelved in like 2001 and didn't get released until like 2008, if I'm correct on that. I might be wrong. That's called Q-Tip the Abstract. But back in I think it might be 1999, actually. It might be a little bit earlier when Tribe Called Quest just split up. Q-Tip released his solo album, Amplified. And that's one of my favourite hip-hop albums of all time. I love that album. Fantastic. Go and check it out. Amplified by Q-Tip.
So if you ever get Colin in Secret Santa, or you know what to get him now. So
I've got it on vinyl, but you know. Yeah, found that in a.
Try and get it signed. I'll get a signed one for you, mate. Yeah.
You can get me something signed by Q-Tip. Yeah. All right. I love that.
A Q-Tip signed by Q-Tip. I bet no one's ever asked him to sign that.
Yeah,
he
right.
loves it when people do that.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. We've got music by Kevin MacLeod. No copyright music. Sword Coast Soundscapes. Ross. My notes here say bludgeon, so I'm writing on
that's useful damage to have at this level.
Yeah, I'm writing on an iPad, so it kind of the spell check just does whatever. And we've got a Dangerling. So I love this bit, this episode, this intro by you and I, Ross. We haven't done one of these in a long time. We do the Dangerling song.
Yeah. What does it go like? Oh, is it the one where oh yes, I did listen to this. So it's the bit where we're like, oh yeah, we should get some music on the, and then you kind of do a James Blunt type song, don't you?
I've written here Cabin in the Woods style intro, and what I mean by Cabin in the Woods is people like Bon Iver. Their first albums are them breaking up with a girl, going and staying in a cabin in the woods, taking nothing but a MacBook, a microphone, and an acoustic guitar. And they call it Cabin in the Woods music because it's just like one person just going, oh, forever go. Just like moaning about their girlfriend that left them.
Yeah.
Was that part of their creative process, Bon Iver? Did they have to go out, seduce a woman, like become in a relationship with them, and then dump them, and then move to a cabin so that they could sing a song?
Yeah.
It fucking works, man. Bon Iver did it. What's his name? David Gray did it.
Yeah.
There was another guy that did it. Who was it? It was who's the guy? So here it is, like you. So
Damien Rice.
Yeah. That was his.
Ed Sheeran?
Divorce rate's so high.
Would you class Ed Sheeran as him?
I wouldn't really class Ed Sheeran as Cabin in the Woods music. He's definitely been inspired by Cabin in the Woods, but he is, he's a different level.
He's visited the woods.
Yeah.
He merely adopted the woods.
He wasn't born in it. Yeah.
Is it? There's a really good story about Ed Sheeran, isn't there?
Is there?
Yeah.
I hope there is. He's very famous.
Jamie Foxx.
There's at least one.
Jamie Foxx, like when he was an unknown, Jamie Foxx like took him to a club like where they have loads of like funk bands and soul bands and stuff like that. And this, white kid with ginger hair and a guitar was standing there. And Jamie Foxx was like, honestly, he's really good. And they went, well, let's see what he's got. And he got up on the stage and he just like teared into it and they loved it. So
amazing.
Yeah. In this proper like soul club, I can't remember where it was. It's a really good story. Have a look at it. Jamie Foxx tells it better than I did.
Love Jamie Foxx. I have a real problem when people talk about, because there's a dickhead here in the UK called Lawrence Fox who always tweets about just right-wing stuff, and he's always referred to as Lawrence Fox of the famous Fox acting family, and I'm like, is he related to Jamie Foxx? No. Is he related to Michael J. Fox? No. Is he related to Fantastic Mr. Fox? No. Then he's not part of the famous Fox acting family. Like, he's not connected to those famous Fox actors, and I do include Fantastic Mr. Fox as a famous Fox actor. That's a cracking movie.
Then I think if you're not related to them, then you can fuck off, Lawrence Fox. Okay. Boom. There we go.
So yes.
That was a tangent and a half. Are we still talking about Pathfinder?
I don't know, man. We're not even into the intro yet. So we are. We have the podcast bit where we talk about Rod Lasts, Blodcast, blah 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 blah. We do all that. And Dan, you say it all goes a bit Adam Buxton. For those that don't know Adam Buxton, can you tell us about him?
Oh, Adam Buxton's amazing. Adam Buxton was part of a show called The Adam and Joe Show back when we were kids. Where they would just do funny skits, and they'd get his dad to interview people, and they'd make little sketches with Star Wars figures, and it was just really silly, irreverent humour, the sort of thing that's quite popular now, but was quite weird back then. And they had a show for a little while. Joe Cornish has gone on to make lots of films. He was involved in Ant-Man, and he's made Attack the Block and loads of films. And Adam Buxton has become a huge mainstay of podcasting here in the UK. The Adam Buxton podcast is fantastic. He has lots of guests on. He does all of his own. Have you just had a delivery, Ross? What have you been delivered? That looks exciting.
So yeah, sorry, I had
got your Kickstarter, have you?
Had to briefly go to get the door because my Kickstarter.
You got your Kickstarter, very nice. And the Adam Buxton podcast has got, like, he does his own jingles and lots of silly sounds and all sorts of things. But he's a wonderful talent.
Yeah, nice, really good. The dice tray. We talk about the dice tray and how it's killing us.
Yep, it's on my side at this point.
Thank you, Scott McAuliffe. You're killing all of us. Luke, am I your father? We have Darth Vader, which is one of the best improvisations I think we've had. And Ross, you come out with Luke, am I your father? Really made us laugh. That was a really big belly laugh in the studio there. That was great.
I don't do many of the one-liners, but sometimes when I do, it's good to get, one of them being successful.
Big up yourself. Absolutely. Yeah, big up yourself. We open the episode and it was straight away M gets hit by a bomb and Velder gets hit too. And I say M's been dead before. And I think we do talk about this in a later episode, but nobody really picked up on it on this episode because nobody's really heard M's backstory by now. But M had already been dead. So yeah.
It's because it gets such a massive reaction when it comes out later on in the show that I had forgotten that you had dropped it in there before.
Do you
We've
think
still not massively explored M's backstory in the show?
This is,
and I'm sure.
This is what I was going to say. I was just going to say, are we going to learn about it on here, or are we going to learn about it in game?
Who knows? Maybe we. Go on, Ross.
No, I was just going to say, you were going to say, maybe we'll never know.
Maybe we'll never know. Maybe we'll have a like we did with Velder and we did with other characters. Who else did we do? We went to their backstory, didn't we? So maybe we will see M's story played out. We'll have a flashback or something, and we'll find out. Be
interesting.
So that's always something we could do and explore that. Because I really did. I made a whole crazy backstory for him, which was really good, and it's the first character I created. So yeah. Anyway, let's not dip into that wound.
We can do that in a few episodes' time.
We say very badly burned again from Austin Powers. Will Ferrell, really good, funny moment in that film. And then Dan, you say that M is Anakin Skywalker of the. So this is the second Star Wars reference because I mentioned the Star Wars figures when you were talking about Adam Buxton. So loads of Star Wars references in these episodes. What's going on? It must be really in the ether at the time. Because a couple of episodes ago, we didn't mention this, but Scott mentions about how Kylo Ren's smashing up the room and the stormtroopers walk away. That was a couple of episodes ago, but we didn't mention it in Danger Recall, even though Scott was listening to that when we tuned in to the Zoom, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, we didn't mention it though. So I'm bringing it back. Star Wars references. Yeah, so M crits, even though he's nearly dead. Oh, Velder hits first with a Ray of Frost. And then M crits, even though he's nearly dead, he sort of steps back and does like a little arrow shot. And she's sickened for a couple of rounds. That was such a good hit because he's right down again to like 1 hit point.
Yeah, he is literally like paper mache in these first sort of episodes, isn't he?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
He reminds me of, this is really interesting, he reminds me of Ross's character in our Divinity campaign that we've been playing with James, where we were like, Ross had never played this game before, and there's a feat talent in it you can take called Glass Cannon that basically means you get loads and loads of damage, but your hit points are nothing. And you maybe do it with a wizard that you're going to super protect to do like big hits. And Ross is like, I'm going to play a fighter. I'm going to take that talent. And both me and James are like, don't, Ross, don't. You're just going to die all the time. It's such a stupid idea. And then since then, Ross just gets really lucky with all his rolls. And he's just this little buzzsaw that just storms through everything. And like either kills everything outright or is dead within a round.
Another reason why I die all the time is because we learned about 10 games in that I had the worst armor possible, and that I had, and that's why everyone was like, yeah, why have you got, like, you've got 12 in your armor, I've got like 30. I'm like, what? Oh, rubbish.
You got to gear up in that thing, man, and you got to doubly do it when you're playing in our game because James will loot hoover. Like anytime a piece of loot comes up, James is like, oh yeah, I think that probably fits my build. It's like, does everything fit your build, James? Is that what it is?
Just to reiterate, Velder doesn't crit there. He just hits with a Ray of Frost, but M crits with an arrow, so he gets right through her kidneys. I was just saying, I'm just, you started talking about something else.
We'll see at the end of this episode where everyone's kills are. So
we will.
I bet you've overtaken me now, which would be really annoying.
So she's now sickened for... Go on, Dan.
Just another really evocative crit. That kidney shot, the thing, it like hits her in the kidneys, and now she's sickened. It's just like, you just feel that. That just feels really like there's something about that.
Feels horrible,
like
doesn't it?
Gross, isn't it?
Yeah, you can kind of feel that in your side, like you've had too much to drink, and you can just feel it in your kidneys. So she then stops. Caragor misses, but she stops and gives up. Velder heals everyone. M draws an arrow just to make sure she doesn't move, and then she changes back. This is when Fulton sits down, goes, I need to have a little moment, sorry. And then we find out that she is Rubella Moncolio.
Yeah.
And she starts saying that her husband forced her to do it. She says she'll testify, but then Caragor works out that she is lying through the skin of her teeth.
We never trust anyone, to be honest, anyway. So.
No, we don't. We're going to come to that because we meet some other people in a minute that we do not trust at all. So we intimidate, but it doesn't work. And then Fulton intimidates. You better listen to me, Missy.
Yeah.
One of my favourite bits, actually, because M's like, you better do what he says. And I can just imagine like Fulton going mental and him going, no, you better do what he says.
Frothing at the mouth.
Yeah, I love that.
There's a school of thought. I don't know how you feel as a GM on this one, Ross, but there's a school of thought that with stuff like intimidate and diplomacy, you should make the roll first and then base your role play on what the die roll is. Because there are some times where like Caragor made an incredible speech and then rolled a natural one, and it just had no effect on her at all. And I've never quite found a way that it works better than the other. I tend to just move it, do whatever really, because we don't really care if you roll a one on it. But it is weird sometimes when you make an amazing speech and you get nothing, and then Fulton just growls and shouts and gets a really high roll.
And then he's won. That's a good idea. Like to roll it before, and then you role play it on the base of what you got, which should be quite good.
It goes back to that dice roll comedy, though, doesn't it? The dice is great for comedy.
The die rolls a nice punctuation.
Yeah, so if you do it the other way around, he might have rolled a 1 and gone, it doesn't matter, and then that would have been it, which is still funny in itself. But the fact that he made that speech and then rolled a 1 is great. It's fantastic. And then Cop gets involved. The Skulk is alive but down. Mm-hmm. And then we find out that the vault belongs to the guild. The the wolf lady says, "Oh, why don't we just have some shiver and relax?" That's really funny. And Shania's like, "Oh, why did he fucking shiver?" Yeah. Oh, this one has actually got some music that I really like, and I think it's called Dark Knight. It's inspired by the Batman movies. It's one of my favorite pieces of music that we found to use. It's like, and I use it in a lot of episodes because I love it. I've got like 3 go-to songs, and that's one of them that I found, and I think it's great. Yeah.
Based on a very, very good soundtrack from Hans Zimmer from The Dark Knight.
Exactly. Yeah. Royalty free as well. Can you believe it?
Yes. So have a look at it and put it in your games.
Yeah. So we find the ledger, we find the alchemical equipment, the small log with notes from the river pirate crew. Is there anything that we kind of missed down there, Dan?
Well, I mean, all of it initially. Like, this is the thing of the Danger Club on all of your dungeon crawls, really, is you manage to become, very efficiently laser focused on kind of the objective, which means you have a string of really tough fights because you kind of just hit every fight in a row without getting any of the little side bits that give you extra gear or anything. Kill the mission objective and then go like, oh, we should probably explore the rest of the dungeon now, and then you go and get all the rest of the stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So she's really confused. She's like, how did you not find the prisoners? How did you not find the ledger? How did you not find the chest?
Yeah.
And it was like all this other stuff. But yes, you go and get all of that, get the traps, you get the and you meet the dwarves, of course.
We do a little Rubella, Ella, A-A-O-O-O.
Nice.
Obviously the track by oh geez, I didn't even write it down because I thought, I'll remember that. Rihanna. Number 1 hit across the world, so we don't need to deep dive on that. We know what it's all about. Do you know they made that, actually, little deep dive, they made that beat on GarageBand.
Really?
Yeah,
nice.
I think there's you can look at it on YouTube. There's like a programmed beat that you can just load straight into GarageBand, and then you change the tempo to whatever tempo the song is, and it's exactly the same beat. So what someone did is they just loaded that beat up and made a song out of it, which is so sick. I love that. And
nice.
all those beats are free, so nice. Thanks, GarageBand.
Yeah,
you gave us a good song. So we find the metal spider thing.
Yeah, you meet the Gearite brothers,
Yeah.
who I love, who I'd really forgotten about, but they were early on characters that I liked quite a lot.
yeah.
They're from the book. So the Gearite brothers are clockmakers from Yanderhof.
Yeah.
Which again, first mention of Yanderhof.
First mention of Yanderhof. Yeah, I was getting to that.
We get in because at this point I know we're going to Kaer Marga, I think. So I'm dropping in little references to Kaer Marga.
Yeah.
So they're on their way to Kaer Marga. So the Gearite brothers are Baringer and Petrov, and Pietro and their other brother, and the 3 of them are attacked by river pirates on the way to Kaer Marga. The older brother is killed. He's the one who owned the spider. The other 2 are brought back to the warehouse where they're going to be held, and they're going to be probably ransomed back to their family in Yanderhof. And that's where you guys find them. And they end up going on to kind of, they're the ones who go with you to Kaer Marga, so they kind of stick around for a while. I really like Fortin's I'll talk to them, dwarf to dwarf.
Yeah, and everyone goes, no, don't you go. Yeah, some really nice moments in this interaction. I really like it. And then we talk about the Marvel franchise. We drop that in there. There's a big purple bollock man. It's a long franchise that we've seen in the Winding Market, apparently.
Yep.
And if you've missed one of them, then the rest of them don't make sense.
I mean, it's not that weird. The Ramayana lasts for days, like in a medieval sort of setting. Like listening to stories that take days and days and days is a completely normal thing.
Yeah. The history plays by Shakespeare, they all actually interlink. I mean, there's so many characters that are called the same name in those plays, which is really confusing.
Yeah.
Because in Henry VI Part 1 and Henry VI Part 3, the guy that plays what's his name? Oh, I can't remember his name, but anyway, they're 2 different characters, but they've got the same title. So one of them gets killed and then one of them gets the same name, and so, but it doesn't explain that. It just happens. and you're like, oh, okay, great. All right, I just have to deal with this. So we did this at drama school. We kind of went through all the history plays, and we made like a massive timeline of who's who, and it was really difficult to go from the first history play right up until Richard III. But it was great. It was so amazing.
We'd have this all the time at Tower of London when you're doing you're having a day in the medieval palace and you're picking your characters for the day, and just literally on your way in through the door you'd just be like, which Roger Mortimer are you again?
Yeah.
And you're like, are you the one who killed the kids, or are you the one who chopped the guy's head off and sent it in a box? And it's like, I'm the kids guy. It's like, okay, cool, there we go.
Which Bolingbroke are we dealing with today? Yeah. You know, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Thanks, medieval England.
There's about 6 Richards in Henry VI trilogy. And it all gets
sweet as feudalism.
Yeah, right. It does all kind of get sewn up in Richard III when the Queen comes in, and the ex-Queen, and she says, "I had a Richard, and Richard killed him. You had a Richard, and Richard killed him." And there's that whole speech, and it's like, oh right, okay, yeah. So Shakespeare just did loads of plays just to get to that point.
A little deep dive on Shakespeare there. Good.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't
loads of plays.
It wasn't as eloquent as it could have been, I don't think.
I liked it.
Hey, William Shakespeare went into a pub and the landlord said, "Get out, you bard."
Nice. Here you go, bit trivia. William Shakespeare, second person in the world to be vaccinated against coronavirus.
I know, yeah.
Yes, he
out
was.
of the public.
I was wondering where you were going with that. I was like, are you going to say the plague? Vaccinated from the plague.
I mean, if anything, probably a waste of a dose, I would say, just digging him up for that. But
there you go, Shakespeare.
Keeping you safe. There we are. I'll be back in 3 weeks for your next one.
Yeah. Hey, tell the world we got Shakespeare.
Make sure you're isolating in your box.
They probably gave it to Marlowe anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Canterbury burn. Right.
All right, so we do all that. We find the Yomadi box. We find Velder's box.
Yes.
And we laugh at him. We laugh about his tent again. What's in the box? What's in the box? We do a little bit of that, not much. But what's that a reference to, Ross?
It's a reference to Seven, the film. That's Seven.
Correct, yeah.
With Brad Pitt and Kevin Spacey. And
bit of a shame.
Who's the other one?
Morgan Freeman.
That's it, Morgan Freeman. Yeah. And there's a culmination of the film. If you haven't seen it, you should probably have seen it by now. There's a culmination right at the end of the film where Kevin Spacey's put something in a box. Morgan Freeman goes over and looks in it, and he's like, "Oh God!" And then Brad Pitt's like, "What's in the box? Tell me what's in the box." And he kind of knows what's in the box.
It's Gwyneth Paltrow's head.
Yeah. It's Gwyneth Paltrow.
Did we just spoil the twist ending of Seven?
I mean, it was
out
a long time ago. Yeah.
Like, unbelievable.
I mean,
I was worried about spoiling some stuff in upcoming episodes, and now we've.
All right, we'll put a disclaimer on the beginning of this episode. If you haven't watched Seven from 1997 or whatever it was, then go and watch it. This is when Brad Pitt and what's her name, who I just mentioned, I can't remember anymore. Gwyneth Paltrow were together. That's how long ago it was. People still talk about what's his name? Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston, which was, a long time ago.
Yeah.
Brangelina isn't even a thing anymore. Come on, guys. Get with the program. Stop bringing these people up. All right?
Yes, sir.
Brilliant interview with Brad Pitt. And it was on Mark Maron's podcast. Go and check out Mark Maron's podcast where he interviews Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio. And they talk about how people follow Brad Pitt around, and they're like, "Why do people do that to you, Brad?" And he's like, "Because of my stupid life that I have," because of all his relationships and things. Yeah, it's a brilliant interview. Go and check it out. It's really good. So we find loads of other stuff. I'm going to skip what we find, blah, 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 because, we get loads of stuff. We find a key of lock jamming. We talk about whether to take the money or not. We just take it. We don't even question it. I think we might question it in a later episode. I'm not sure. We have a reference to Who Let the Dogs Out, which I didn't deep dive. But
Fine.
it's a song by someone, and it gets in your head.
Baha Men, is it?
It's by the Baha Men. Yeah, well done, Ross.
Done.
I don't know how I know that out of every obscure fucking fact, but yeah, by Baha Men.
One of them songs that gets in your head.
You have a lot of gear now. This is the first time you've got treasure in the quest. Like, this is the first time you've found loads of bits and bobs of treasure items and weird things. So you've got to decide who gets what and how you split gold, and like it's such a defining thing of RPGs. And this is the first time it sort of happened to you guys.
Still no loot for a fighter, however.
No.
Yes.
I think we had a little chat off air, didn't we, about money? Because I think at the time Scott was like, "Well, I'm just going to take all the money that Caragor finds. He's going to take it."
Yeah.
And then the rest of us were like, I was going to share mine. And then Scott's like, oh, okay, what are we doing? Are we sharing it or are we keeping it? And I think we all made this decision off air just to go, let's share it as a group. And that's no disrespect to Scott, because we didn't know what we were going to do at all at the time anyway. So
yeah, it's such a you have to set up your loot rules so early on as a group to like not have fights, and it can get really complicated at higher levels. In my Kingmaker group, we've got fortunately people who are much better at maths and running spreadsheets and running loot sheets and everything like that than I am, and so we kind of have a whole system of like everything that can't be used gets sold. All the money goes into party gold. Everyone gets a share of it. And if you ever want an item, so if we loot an item and you want it, you have to buy that item from the party, basically. So you pay money to the party for half the cost of the item. You get the item, and then that gold goes into the pool that is used to buy other things for other people. It's really complicated, but it does seem to work, and we do have enough healing potions, and I'm just fine with that, because I don't want to have to understand how many healing potions we need. I just want someone to be like, yeah, it's taken care of.
Yeah.
It's like RPG socialism. It's like, just charge me taxes and make things work. That's all I want.
Yeah. We have a moment where Velder, Caragor and Shania. Imagine Velder and Shania. Caragor and Shania are having a little moment. They kind of touch the same thing. And then Velder interrupts. He's like, oh, look at these. And then grabs something off the shelf.
It's lovely.
yeah, it's a really good moment. And Ross, you're singing Unchained Melody by the Righteous Brothers. Which is a great song in the famous scene used in Ghost when Patrick Swayze is... and Demi Moore, she's doing pottery, and he comes around and puts his hands on her hands, and they get all messy. And then in the next scene, they're completely clean, but wearing the same clothes, and they go to bed. So, there you go, Unchained Melody. Great song, by the way. Great song. Fantastic song. None of the covers are good. Whoever's done a cover of that song, it's not very good. Okay, Robson and Jerome.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Robson and Jerome.
Let's start a fight with Robson and Jerome.
Nah, man. It wasn't good.
We can't take Robson or Jerome, whichever one was in Game of Thrones. I can't remember. We can't take him.
I'm saying it. Okay, come at us. Yeah? Come at the Danger Club. Your version wasn't very good. All right? To be honest, they're covering a song that was made, which is just so beautiful and so perfect, that if anyone that tries to cover it is going to have a bad time, you know?
Yeah.
So don't come at us. I was joking. It's really good. I love it. I'm going to buy the album.
Come on, get to the best bit of the episode. I want to talk about it.
All right. Caragor kicks the button. Then he finds a button and he kicks it, and Velder is standing on the trap door, and Velder falls down the trap door. He's not on very many hit points. And oh my God, it's so funny. It is so funny.
But we know we know that it's a trap door because Scott intentionally hits it, and James is furious.
Oh my
God, he's so mad.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind, this is the first record at his house.
Yeah.
We're sitting in his house using his chairs, drinking his coffee. And then we almost kill his character.
I think James says, oh yeah, it's wonderful having your own character's life taken out of your own hands. Yeah,
it's because the odds of it were so tiny because it's set up as a trap. If you go into the if you go into the Curiosity Shop first, because Rebella starts off the whole thing in the Curiosity Shop, just doing her accounts in there, and it's only because all the alarms and everything have been raised and you took so long that she's kind of turned into a wolf, gone down to the vault, got all the treasure, and is on her way back out when she runs into you.
Yeah.
So it's sort of set up so if you walk into the Curiosity Shop first, she can be like a Bond villain who'd be like, I'm so glad you're here, and press a button and whoever's standing in front just drops into the pit. But like the odds that anyone would be standing on the pit are quite small if you're just spread out searching the room, which is why I was like, I'm going to roll. It was like was it a D8 or a D10? It's like, I think it was a D8. And I was like, if it's a 1, one of you is standing on the pit. And I'm like, there's almost no chance because it's stupid. And probably he presses the button and the pit will open and we'll say it was right next to one of them and it'll be funny. And the fact that the fact that someone was on it and the fact that it was Velder. Oh, it
was one of those amazing, unplanned, comical moments. That
we were in, as players, we were in stitches. We were just apart from James. James
was
like, and looking back at it, we were dicks. It was a real dick move because he was sitting there and he was really pissed, and I would have been if it was me. I'd have been like, "What the fuck? What the fuck? You've killed my character," you know. Yeah,
imagine,
so it was
imagine if Velder died then.
But it's one of those things that's just like, it's just the absurdity of role-playing games in an adventure party. Like, imagine if you were out with your mates and one of your mates like pulled a thing and you fell down and broke both legs.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, ha 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 ha. And one of them climbs down and is like, oh, all right, stop being a dick about it. It's just in incredible pain.
Well, I love this that Shania runs down there to just give him some healing, but she doesn't have any.
Once again, Drum not realising.
Drum can't use the wand. Shania can't use the wand, can he?
Yeah, it's a weird thing from first edition that wands have like schools of magic and like certain people can use certain wands and all this kind of complexity that's gone in second.
Yeah.
But it's like...
But then they do stabilise Velder, and just as that happens... Sheriff Veldane walks in and goes, "What the?" Like proper like Aunt May moment from Spider-Man. What the? You know, and then the end credits music starts.
Yeah, that's a good end to the episode as well, isn't it? Like, what the hell?
It was tremendous. It was such a lovely way to finish it. That you'd already taken everything out and somehow still managed to like finish on chaos.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
Good episode.
What?
Real good.
What's our tracker say, Dan? After that,
I knew you'd want to have a little check-in on this.
Yeah.
So there is. I had to instigate a new rule with the justifiable homicide tracker because you've started to get to the thing where you're defeating people without killing them in some cases, and so I've decided that where somebody is defeated, where a significant enemy is defeated, but is not necessarily killed. So where they're kind of either dropped down to unconscious and then stabilized, or they're forced to surrender. I've credited the person who forced them to do that, like the last person who got the blow that made them give up or that dropped them to 0. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
The tricky one was Pegleg Hamilton because all of you just yelled at him until he surrendered. So I've left him off for now. He's technically, he is still alive in the game. So we will get to that later on to decide who is responsible for his eventual death. But it does mean that some people have got some credits for some kills. So I can tell you now, in the justifiable homicide tracker, in last place, it is still Shania Rain. We're on episode 19. She has 0 kills.
Shania.
Jeez.
Next place, in 5th place, it's Philippe the Devil Monkey with 1 kill. Now in 4th place, it is Velder Chemblight still stuck on 2 kills, albeit one of them's the use. In 3rd place, pulling ahead now, catching up to the lead pack, Caragor Onefang with 4 kills, all of which are Gilded Thugs. All of which are he is the henchman slayer of this one. Which means in 2nd place, with 7 kills, is Fulton Battlestone. He's lost the lead. Damn. With 8 kills from Rebella Moncolio, Keemeth Onami, Jethro, Borvius Moncolio. You got both the Moncolios, couple of henchmen, and the dragon in inverted commas. MZ, son of Ben, is our current leader for kills.
M to the Z. Skulk Slayer.
Yes.
Yes.
So exciting.
Nice.
I'm loving
That was
this.
a good
It's one of
episode.
my favourite bits.
Real good
Great
episode. Lots of fun to be had in those last few episodes. This has been Danger Recall. I think we're going to round it off there. That was part 17. We talked about episode 19 of the Danger Club podcast. Thank you for joining us as always. If you need to talk to us, we are on the Discord. Get on there and chat to us. That's a really nice thing to do. If you're feeling lonely around this time as well, we're going to be here for you. So let us know what's going on. Or if you're feeling happy and you're not lonely, if you want to share things, I don't know, just get on the Discord. It's a nice community. Really, really good. Get on the Facebook, on the Twitter, on the Insta, whatever social medias you use, and shout us out. Let us know what's going on. Thank you to my guests. Thank you to Dan Thompson.
Thanks, everybody. Take care.
And Ross Harmston.
Bye.
Have a good one, team. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.